When you talk about the land, can you express to us what Freedom Gardens are, and in closing, give us a way to get involved?
Buffalo Freedom Gardens is a program that was developed as a result of COVID. And if you remember, and I know many of you do, you were restricted in your movement, right? And so I am a gardener. I love gardening, I love life, I love nature, I'm a tree hugger, all of that. And I am a master gardener for Erie County. And so we have to do volunteer work, and I was volunteering in community gardens, but the community gardens were closed. And so I had someone come to me and ask me if I would be willing to do a home grow program, because I had been talking to them about that, and they said, well, I think the time is now for you to do a home grow program. You can't get into any gardens. So what we did with a number of people in the east side of Buffalo is we identified all of the areas in the city where there was the largest COVID results in terms of percentage of people who had lost their lives and the percentage of people who had COVID. And so we started there, and we gave out raised beds, elevated beds for seniors, and what we call earth boxes for people that had that were living in apartment buildings, and we gave them everything they needed for a garden. We had people build the beds. We actually delivered the soil to their homes. We put the soil in their boxes. It's a lot of soil to fill up the beds that we had. And we gave them organic seeds and organic seedlings so that they could have their garden. That first year, we had 50 gardens, but 339 people applied for those 50 gardens. So then I knew that this is something that needed to carry on beyond a year. So I've done that for like 3 years. There's 150 gardeners, and I did it off of the backs of people like India Walton, people that are in this audience, people that give freely of their time and their effort. And this year, I am putting in a food forest garden in the JFK Park. So I feel like I'm blessed. The JFK Park is in the Ellicott District. It is not far from the Michigan Street African American Heritage Corridor. It's in a district that when I came to Buffalo was predominantly black. This is where black people lived, in the Ellicott District. And it's on Pine Street, right across from the Montessori School, right next to the Town Gardens housing, next to where I live, at Compass East, which used to be the only black hospital in the city of Buffalo. So some of you will know where this neighborhood is. 2 or 3 blocks from where William Wells Brown had his house, and Mary Talbert lived down there. So this is the neighborhood where you had all of the churches and everything. It is an amazing neighborhood, and that JFK Park is right there. We are going to start the garden, the installation, this year. So let me tell you, we are giving away fruit trees and nut trees. And when I say giving away, I want you to know we think of you give a man a fish or you teach him how to fish. Well, we're giving them the fish and we're teaching them how to fish at the same time. So that is what we're doing, and I'm very excited about that.
Yes, indeed. So encourage everybody to look up Buffalo Freedom Gardens, look up Miss Gail Wells, and let's get involved. And I mentioned Partnership for the Public Good. That's one of their policy planks. Always, every year, is food access is so important in this community. We have learned these lessons the hard way over and over. We know so many are struggling. Give a man a fish, and he'll eat for a day. Teach him how to fish, and he'll eat forever. That reminds me of an Arrested Development song. I'll tell you what, we're going to play some Arrested Development tonight, but first, I want to thank Miss Gail Wells for taking us there. You want to take us there? Reconnector Band, Miss Gail Wells.